Right then, as the news of Frenkie De Jong's transfer to Manchester United seems to be getting hotter and hotter and hotter, I'm here to give you an alternative, and I'm here to give you someone that maybe could learn from him, and maybe someone who can understudy him for a while at the club. And that person is James Garner. Now, in recent years, James Garner was seen very much as a bit of an anchor player, but certainly one of the most successful loanees that United have had in recent times, and a standout performer on loan has been Jimmy Garner in a big, big way. He's expected to be closely analysed by Erik Ten Hag over pre-season, played a massive role in Forest's return after 23 years at a top flight of English football. They beat Huddersfield Town 1-0 in the playoff final at Wembley, and he provided the assist for the only goal of the game. He saw his cross turned in by Levi Colwill, who's a wonderful player as well. I'd actually be very excited if United was even linked with him, because I think he's sensational, own goal aside. Jimmy was excellent in the final, and he shows a game that's full of maturity and confidence. And there's a real steeliness about the way Jimmy plays. And he was a consistent starter under Steve Cooper. He played a key role in helping Forest climb from the bottom of the table to get that promotion. Perfect example of a player going out on loan, being trusted and developing in every single facet of his game. He got 4 goals and 10 assists last season from midfield. He's got set-piece ability, which is an asset, no matter what level you are, and it's maybe arguably even becoming even increasingly an asset in the modern game. He was integral for Forest, but the questions remain. Does he go back to Forest on loan? Does the way he was utilised at Forest this season replicate next season? I would argue it would. I don't think he would be necessarily utilised in the same way. I would expect Forest to change their game somewhat due to being in the Premier League, and that might be the change. Is he ready to challenge for a midfield spot? Is he worse than McTominay? I could argue definitely not. I think he's got a lot more ability in his locker. The only thing I don't think he's got is the height and maybe the physicality. Could shooing him in too early stall his development, knock that confidence that he's played with this season? And does the state of the club affect him as a footballer, or does he get a bit of a clean slate being a new player and under a new manager? Ten Hag has got a real reputation of prioritising and developing young players. And it's a huge step up from playing in the Championship and performing at the highest level for Manchester United, obviously. The percentage difference, whether it's small or big, is still significant, and we don't know yet, can he deal with the pressure of playing for Manchester United? These are the only questions that get answered by giving him a shot. Now, for me, pre-season is where he's going to get that shot, but I'm still not 100% sure pre-season is fit for purpose in terms of giving a young player a real crack of the whip. The way Jimmy's been deployed by Forest, I've seen sides to his game that I actually didn't know existed. Seeing him feature as an attacking number 8 and an attacking midfielder, rather than the sort of deep-lying, disciplined anchorman destroyer that we sort of saw coming through the under-18s at United. He's added all sorts of attributes to his game. One of the things I first saw about Jimmy that I put a bit of a cap on his ability mentally, and it prejudiced my thinking about him for a while, was his inability to be able to spread the play. Now, he might have had an injury in this one game. It was the under-19s Champions League, and it was against Liverpool. And he played in the 6, and what was happening is United were struggling against Steven Gerrard coached Liverpool under-18s, under-19s. Ethan Laird was getting some serious space out on the right-hand side of the pitch. The ball was coming back to Jimmy in a really good position, and he couldn't find Laird. He wasn't hitting those balls either, wasn't seeing them, or just didn't want to play those balls. And then Nicky Butt put loads of attacking players on for United, and Angel Gomez ended up coming back into the 6 to act like a little bit of a playmaker. And as soon as Angel got in there, he started hitting those balls and switching the play out to Ethan Laird, and United actually started to get a bit of a foothold in the game. Now, ultimately, that was one game and that was one performance, but that one performance really stuck in my head because I've seen him do everything else. I've seen him cut about the pitch. I've seen him making tackles. I've seen him being an option for people. I've seen him on the ball with the short, close control play. I've seen him dribble. I saw like a quite well-rounded sort of opinion of what he was like as a central midfield player. But I think as a midfield player, certainly someone that was going to play in the 6, you needed to have that switch in you. Now, if you've got a groin injury, that might have been the point where you go, listen, I can play this and I can keep it tidy. I can't hit that ball because of this, or a problem with your ankle or your foot. I don't know what the issue was. I've since seen him hit those balls, which leads me to sort of believe that maybe there was an issue in that game I wasn't aware of. What I'm seeing from Jimmy lately is very much a lot more attacking than he ever was in the academy at United. And this is what makes me think that there's a bit of a Frenkie in there. And in terms of style of play, I actually think Ten Hag might love him. He's an honest player. His attitude's mega. He will put a shift in and he will bleed for the cause. And as we've seen in the Championship, the technical ability is there. And for all of the people who are going, Championship's not the Premier League. No, it's not. And you said that about Jack Grealish. And you said that about Ivan Toney. And you said that about Mason Mount. And you've said that about countless players who in recent years have made the step up from playing in the Championship to the Premier League. It's happened time and time and time again. People need to realise the Premier League is not some sort of mythical football league. It's a very, very good league, and it's played at an intense level. But if you can survive, certainly as a teenager, in the Championship, you are good enough to compete in the Premier League. I will stand by that, and I'll argue for that. And the performances that we've seen from Jimmy Garner, statistically sensational. Eye test, sensational. The comments from his teammates and the fans of Nottingham Forest have been sensational. He has been sensational. For me, he deserves an opportunity. And I believe he will get an opportunity. And he could end up saving United some money in this transfer window. I still think we're going to push very hard for Frenkie De Jong. But because of the flexibility and versatility that he's got to feature in other positions, if we're looking for someone to be a bit of a squad player, I think he's a little bit higher in the pecking order than both Galbraith and Levitt at the moment. I think his performance on loan was a bit of a step above those, even though both of those lads are getting international experience. I think his performance at Forest was a little bit more impressive than what we've seen from the rest of the guys. I think he is ready. And I think United would be a fool to not try and see what this kid could do. And not just in pre-season. Give him a shirt in the Premier League and let him impress you.
Real fan ownership, real fan input, real fan change, real fan power. 50 plus 1, we can go better than that. 100 plus none. Download our app, view the free content, read about the club, that's fine. But if you want more, become a member. To vote, to go behind the scenes, to make an impact, interact with a global community around the world, influencing how we grow, where we play, club ethics and values. The more members we have, the faster we grow. Support the club, run the club, own the club. This is ours and no one will take it away. The future is in all our hands.